Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Weekly City. I'm one of your hosts, Crush, and always one like host. Right here,
69.
Boy, I'm Timmy!
If we're not familiar with what we do, we sometimes have a table, so we sometimes don't.
Have an office, and we sometimes
find a random place
like
in public. So you can call this a vlog podcast.
This is, sponsored by Zelda. Very talented right there.
If you can hear it, yeah. We sit around tables. We usually talk about nerdy stuff, comics, games, movies, everything. And we have fun. We deal with shit. We homeless. If you guys got a podcasting space, we're interested. Let us know. And this is episode 137. So after 137 episodes, we still. Oh yeah, one more.
And we have to have a spot by then.
We need a spot.
Because I don't want to be talking about, it's 69 times.
Sweaty.
Yeah, so with that, episode 137, this is your first time checking us out. We hope you enjoy. We usually have a room. Check us out if you want to watch the videos. I mean, in audio form, it should be a very similar experience, but in video form,
we're outside.
I hope you enjoy
people walking
this
around.
fucking cold.
We're in front of a restaurant.
One more time. So 69 previews.
It opens up more.
Let's save the chat for after. Let's jump straight into the topic.
Sure.
Okay, so I came up with this topic because this game's coming out called Sayonara Hearts. It's $12.
Okay.
Problem is, it's only an hour long from reviews, but it's got good reviews. So I'm gonna break it down with a $60 game, $20 game, and $10 game. How many hours should each tier provide you with?
I feel like it's a tough one. Specifically when you go down in lower price, like $10 to $20, I feel like a game could be an hour long, but it depends on the quality of the game. Like if it feels really good,
Would you pay $60 for an hour game?
I would not pay $60 for an hour game.
I would wait till it's on sale and just buy it later. Because a lot of times these prices are at launch, and it's about being in the moment at the beginning, and that's sort of what we've talked about that before, where it's games have bugs and they usually work them out. So to me, it's it's a move that the developer wants to make on how much exposure this game wants. If it's a tough sell to do, if they're they're okay, this game could be criticized for being too short, and we're charging $60 plus deluxe versions of this being maybe $80 like a lot of games have. What kind of conversation do we want people to have about our game? And what kind of confidence do we have in our game? People pay quite a lot to go see a movie in theaters. I mean, you can just wait to go see it at home for $1 or for whatever service you're paying. So I think a lot of that comes into question about each experience. If I got I'm thinking of games that took me a very short amount of time, and those were Journey and Insight. Those two come to mind. And I paid about, somewhere between $10 and $20 for each of those.
What was the full price on those? 25?
I got them much later than when they originally came out, but I'm thinking if they were to be this is a $60 game, would that have been a detriment to my experience? And I definitely think it would have made me more hesitant to make the purchase, knowing how short it was. Someone told me you'll finish it in a sitting. Yeah. But I think if I got past that somehow, whatever the reason, whether I waited or whatever, I think I'd take more time with how much, depending on how short it was. But at the end of the day, I'd be this is gonna force me to buy this game later, or I'm gonna have to take a leap of faith and buy it now.
Fine, I'll break it down easily. $60 game is 30 plus hours.
Ooh, there's a lot of games that don't hit that mark.
$20 game, 10 plus hours. And then what was it? The 20 and then $10 game would be between 1 to 5 hours. I think would be fine.
I think of The Last of Us. That's only 15 hours.
Oh. See, but that's what I'm saying. Then it depends on the content. Dude, my most memorable memory of Last of Us 2 is there's that scene where
Last of Us 2?
Or Last of Us 2.
Spoilers!
I'm already ahead of the
Rest
game.
of it?
This is in the future, you know. No, there's that scene. There's the level where Ellie stays at the top with the sniper, and you have to go around taking pulls out, and then she'll help you out from time to time. Like that was such an amazing scene. Like I love doing that run flawlessly. Like not being caught by those guys and just doing it. And I've played it multiple times, that specific area, and I've done it to where I just run out and just kill everyone right away. Like, you know, they're all shooting at me at the same time. I've done it where I'm silent. You know, I've done it to where I remember when I first played it, there's a guy that I could never get behind. I didn't know how to sneak up behind the guy. So he would always he would see me, and then more guys would rush me because everyone saw me after that. And I remember I learned that part, and then I was able to do it all silently. And before that, I was just wrecking fools left and right. And I got more than 30 hours of that game though, you know, like with online as well. So I kind of include all of that as well. But that's what I'm saying. Like there's sometimes there's just content that's like it doesn't have to be 30 plus hours, and you get what you feel is more than $60.
Yeah, well, like if there was ever a game, it may have already happened to you guys, but if there was ever a game that was like it moved you in a seismic way, but it was an hour. It was the length of a movie, and it cost $60. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I could put a price. Like, I could put a price on it, but I don't know if I'd feel bad for paying $60 for that experience.
I don't think I could. Like knowing a game is an hour long, I don't think I could pay up to $6 for that. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Did you have a definitive for your thoughts on it?
I like to price it like a movie. So like $10 should be 2 hours. $60. Well, that doesn't make sense. Oh no, 12 hours. Yeah. Like 15 hours is okay for $60. As long as the gameplay is good. I think 15 hours is not.
So you're willing to buy a game for $60 if you can play it in one sitting?
Well, I won't play 15 hours.
Well, we did the last episode.
2 sessions, yes, I would pay.
The last episode, man, we talked about our length.
So then, would you ever? Game prices can fluctuate if they increase, but then the gameplay increased, like a WoW or a Monster Hunter, and it became like $100 for a game like that.
Yeah, with the content, I mean,
knowing a game is like if it's a known franchise, and you're like, I'm gonna put out like Grand Theft Auto.
I feel like I wouldn't have paid $100 for the first part of Monster Hunter World, but if it was included with Iceborne, and it didn't, they weren't like this is DLC or this was supposed to be DLC. If they were just like all this is the game, I'd be like, yeah, $100, I'll pay for it.
There's certain games I would gladly pay 100, like Breath of the Wild. I would have paid $100 for it.
I don't know.
Undertale. That's a $20 game. I would have easily paid $60. To me, that's a $60 game.
How long is the game?
That's an 8-hour game. That's an 8 hour.
Well, here's the other way they could get around all this. I mean, it's sort of like loophole of this whole thing is like with services like Game Pass and this new like that game you mentioned, Sayonara, is also on Apple for $5, and it's part of a package of like paying $5 a month amongst many other games. What if it's just services like that? And then it's like, what is that monthly service value at? Like, how many different experiences? Like, what if you have like a bunch of 1 hour experiences, 2 hour, or like sampling experiences? Like VR, a lot of like there are more games now that are full games on VR, but it seems like a lot of them are very short.
Yeah.
So what if there was
VR?
a service that was like pay $15 a month and you get like 3 games each month? Like,
I like to own my games. I just have this. Unless it's like super exclusive and
but
it's a game I need to play.
digital purchases?
That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely true. But I feel like I own it. Technically. I mean, I feel like I own it.
It's being able to touch them, man.
But the thing is with that.
Yeah. What about movies?
If they took something away, they get your money back. So it's not like lost.
I mean, no, I don't. Okay, so let's move away from Netflix and that like they rotate and go more towards like, I don't know, like Game Pass. Like it's just like this built-in catalog.
Yeah, it's always there. Like their whole entire
like we're just adding to it.
I think it's a great way to try games, but it's not.
I think that's a good way to break that
I guess
feeling
that's the
of
idea
like.
too, because I'll try a game and beat it and then move on to the next one. But I don't know. I just don't have an interest. Like specifically with PC. Like I always feel like when you download something and then uninstall it, you're never 100% removing every file that you download for that game.
I go through the program folders and I'm like,
but there's still like there's like caches essentially, or like there's areas where like you download temporary files, you know, where like it never fully installed into where you set to install. Like it's always downloading like other files. Like if you search for something specifically, you'll find like encrypted.
What is this?
Oh, it's just so. I guess with the subscription, PC wise, I'm not a fan of it because for me to like, if I were to subscribe to Ubisoft, which is one of the ones I was more interested in doing, I would have to download those games to play them on their subscription-based service that they have now, and then I would beat it, uninstall it, and I just feel like.
Okay. But you guys don't have that issue with movies and shows.
No,
because it's the same thing. It's like you don't own these movies or shows. But
yeah.
You have access.
For me, it's fantastic because I've always like when I really enjoy a movie or when I think a movie does a really well job, even if I haven't seen it, I will buy it on Blu-ray. Essentially.
Same.
But I don't ever rewatch movies. There are movies that I've seen in movie theaters was like, this is such a great movie. I'll buy it on Blu-ray. Oh, it's $10 on Blu-ray? Yeah. Still.
So what we're learning is don't come to the weekly DLC for money purchase.
So for me, movie services makes perfect sense because I am watch it one time, don't watch it again kind of thing. And if it's streaming to me,
but
that's
do you
perfect.
play a lot of these games that would be like Journey or Inside or whatever?
No, I haven't.
More than once?
No, I haven't.
But the movie services, part of it, but majority of the reason why I bought into it was the exclusive shows that are exclusive to it. Like 80%, I bought Netflix for the Netflix shows,
right?
Which I don't watch.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, so it's pretty much for the shows that are exclusive.
That's true.
But I mean, like these games are like you get Game Pass to get Xbox games. You get. I think that's what it's gonna get towards. This is becoming a different topic, but I'm just like trying to find ways that becomes more palpable. Like you wouldn't have to worry about paying $80 for a 1 hour experience. You're paying for a service, and that seems to be where a lot of these studios and developers and consoles are going towards. Is like having some sort of service that you can do that.
I feel like the service isn't sustainable on games exclusively made for that type of service. Because most of the games are like they're both you can buy it or it's part of the service, and they've been older games too. One of the newer ones in Xbox Live has the Gears of War 5, but it's also purchasable.
But even when you purchase it, like you guys were saying, well, we were just the whole digital purchase versus the physical purchase. When you buy a digital game, it has that whole like you don't fully maybe own it. So it's, I mean, yeah, you purchased it, but still. Like,
I think if I were to compare it in that sense,
it's like a phase. It's like this is fully unpurchased. Yeah. This is fully purchased physical, but and then the digital purchase is sort of somewhere in the middle.
I think if I compare the streaming service of video games to digital service of video games, I do think the streaming service of digital video games seems like a better deal than purchasing digital games.
Better? I thought you were saying it wasn't.
I mean, if personally, I don't care for it.
Okay.
But I do think it's a better idea because, like, Microsoft did a thing where they had removed games off of people that owned it. They owned digital versions of those games, and they removed it off their accounts, and they could never get them again. There was like a big old issue about that. So even though you own it digitally, it can be taken. But if you're streaming, like, it's not a big deal. Like, oh, I played that already. I don't mind that they took it off. You know, it's not a big deal. That's how I'm comparing it, I guess. But that moved completely off topic. So, what was the topic again?
It was about just like how like money in games and like what's important to you.
But if so my idea was, imagine Gears of War 5. Like they made that game specifically for their games for Windows Live service. I just don't think it would be sustainable for like a company to make that big of a game, that expensive of a game, only for a streaming service. Like just that money wouldn't be made back. I feel like this wouldn't be the case.
I mean, you see companies like Netflix spending billions of dollars for additional shows that only make up like you're paying. They make up a fraction of the total package and stuff.
Yeah, but there are so many people already. I don't know how big like.
I think that's what like the model is, and I don't understand it fully. It's like investment and like ripple return.
But like at least with the streaming service, it is constant income. Like, you know, if no one's playing anything, you're still making money. But I think you have to have a certain amount of people subscribe to see that like that positivity and income come from you, you know? And I just don't feel like Microsoft has hit that point yet.
Well, yeah, we can use that one as an example. But I'm thinking of like, what other games would you factor into that short, like what Jang was saying, like Undertale or Inside or Journey, or I don't know, what are some other short games?
Stardew.
Is that short?
Oh shit! No, it's not.
I mean, if you're willing to play it for an hour, it's sure, you know?
Do you feel like you'd be more likely, like if a game was free, but then had in-game purchases, that you would end up spending $60 for it and not feel as bad?
I haven't, but I felt like Fortnite was the closest to it.
I know.
Like not as directly.
Because I've done it. I spent over close to, let's just say it's triple digits at this point.
Woo!
And it's still going. The only reason it's still going is because I know I've spent triple digits, but I've not spent money since then. I immediately hit triple digits and stopped.
It's just interesting psychology-wise, just like upfront costs versus like cosmetic costs or optional costs, and like how that can be like, no, I don't mind it now, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm very much the same way. I know many others are probably the same way. How that can just change how you look at it at that game. I don't know. It's just adding questions to your stuff. I think that's an interesting thing. But I mean, easy answer for me is just wait. A lot of times those games go cheap.
Except if it's Nintendo.
Then you just wait for the stores to go cheap. You like buy two, get one free, or some shit like that. Do you have anything?
You want to move on to that one?
Yeah, my topic. I mean, maybe similar. I was thinking about something lately with like, we grew up in a generation where there was a bunch of original concepts, and there was a handful of remakes, but I feel like the ratio of like new movies and shows and stories on those new movies and shows and games versus remakes, remasters, reboots of all those things, the ratio has changed and it has tipped in favor of the reboots, remakes, and all those things. And it's like the third time a franchise has come back, or the second time, the fourth, on and on and on. And I'm like, what's the next generation going to look like when everything that, like, maybe 90% of what they experience now are those reboots and remakes, and then they were like, in their generation, like years from now, they're going to be like, it's a reboot, it continues. It's like, what does that even look like? Does that, you feel like that'll change them at a core, like in terms of like their influences as a culture and the artists and stuff, like, or it's just going to be regurgitating the same stuff every few, like right now it's like, what game haven't we remastered yet? Jack and Daxter, throw that out there. Link's Awakening, throw that out there.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just reliving a lot of the same stuff, but yeah, I don't know. It just was a thought I had, and I was like, I wanted to see where the thought takes me.
I don't know if it's going to be... I know for sure it's an influence. Like, like reboots will influence...
Like, the ratio is, like, I'm projecting that if it continues the way it is, 90% of what we see is just going to be, oh, I saw that 20 years ago or 10 years ago.
It feels
and
like
10%.
that now, you know?
It's getting more.
Yeah, it feels like we've got Final Fantasy VII, like you were naming out these games. It feels like a majority of the games coming out are literally remakes or, remasters.
And movies and shows and stuff.
Yeah. And I think that they will influence the future. Like, people will make, trying to think of like a specific game. Like Zelda. Like, I do feel like there'll be different iterations of Zelda. Like, we've seen like Zelda lookalikes. Link games lookalikes. They're just top-down, like, adventure-type games. We've seen plenty of them. And I do feel like it will, in the future, we will play games and they'll feel like, oh, this is similar to what that Zelda game was. That was also a remake of another game or something like that. Like, it'll just be, we will feel like similarities are happening with these games eventually. There'll be so much content that will always feel like something similar to something else.
There will always be reboots, and there's going to be more until people stop putting money into it. Like, look at The Lion King.
Yeah.
Bad reviews.
But I'm saying, what kind of impact do you think that'll have? Like, will people just think a different way as a result of like that kind of.
People will think differently. The reason why I say that is I'm gonna bring up an Undertale thing. So I played a scene in Undertale. People are like, "Oh shit, this scene is so cool." They didn't realize it's a scene from Final Fantasy VI. It's a homage scene for Final Fantasy VI. And so people are gonna look at things and be like, "This is the original. It's not the original. This is actually the remake." People will look and they'll judge it for better or worse to the original. But people will always look at whatever's fresh or whatever came out recently, and then they'll maybe look at the old movie, like they'll watch Lion King. Maybe they'll go back and watch the old Lion King. I feel like they're gonna reboot the Marvel universe. They're just gonna recast everyone eventually. 10, 15 years, who knows? But
I have an example with the movie one. I watched the new Aladdin with my sister. She likes that more than the old one. Yet she's never seen the old one. So I can't really. Yeah.
Does she like it more than?
She just like says she liked it. I'm like, well, you haven't seen that one. She's like, well, I know I like it more. I'm like, what?
Damn.
Whatever.
Well, see, I'm wondering, like in my head, I'm thinking about this of like stagnancy of like original ideas. I understand that you're saying like there'll be those that are like Quentin Tarantino and like Undertale that are like, oh, I grew up with this and I want to pay homage to it. Or like Link and I grew up with it and I'm inspired by it. But I think if the trend continues where it's like Spider-Man for the 18th time, Terminator for the 14th time, all the just like literally the franchise names, not like new character that is like that. It'll just put people in a less creative state. It'll be more robotic in a lot of ways. It's like, oh, what's an idea? Like it'll just put people further away in a fundamental way of like thinking of like I'm not even gonna try and think of something new. Just like anything you do, like a lot of times at work you're like, why should I reinvent the wheel when something exists already? And that I understand, but there's so many times where it's like you feel hindered to like try to come up with some new thing, like a product or anything like that, where you're like, someone's already thought of something. I'm not even gonna try it. And I wonder, like on that level, will it? I feel like it's going to be negative in some way, but at the same time, we've talked about like technology increasing and getting better, where it does a lot of that thinking for us.
Right.
And that also scares me. While also like is like, it's scary, but it's also like crazy how like what else that could free us up to do. But like, I don't know. I'm thinking like outside of that medium, how does it impact me elsewhere?
Yeah. The thing is,
like in conversations, you're gonna sit here. Like a lot of times. In college, we've all had these conversations like in just social groups of nerdy stuff. People will, this is a perfect example. So you'll say something funny, and you're like, it was your own like joke. And someone's like, oh dude, that was hilarious, where's that from? And I'm like, that was me.
Original content, bro.
And like almost 90% of the time people just go to think like that's from something. And I don't know what it's from yet, so please explain the reference to me. I'm like, it catches people afar of like, why is that like a novel thing to have of like just your own idea?
I was watching this thing where I think it was Boss. They were talking about memory and how when we remember something and it's so far in the past, or like we're so far in the future remembering something now from like now's time, we don't remember it to 100% accuracy. We'll fill in gaps with false memories. You know, we'll be like, yeah, I remember when like I dodged this guy in the fight or whatever. When in reality, like you might have not even fought him, and like the guy fell and you just moved out of the way or something like that. And I feel like that can happen with like older gameplay. Like for us, you know, when we get nostalgic, we're like Final Fantasy VII. I played it, but I haven't beaten it since I was a kid. You know, so like later gameplays, I don't remember very well. I don't know, you know, like remember scenes with like Sephiroth being in like this weird plantation that has like, you know, tubes with people inside, but I don't remember very well. But I know that if I were to play the new remake, the Final Fantasy VII remake, there'll be moments where I'm like, holy shit, like I don't remember this very well. Like, oh, this is so sick. And especially with the new updated graphics, I feel like we'll always have older content we can replay in a remastered form and still enjoy it. I feel like that's always gonna be a thing. We'll always have homages to like certain scenes in newer games that we can enjoy and feel like it was almost an original thought because we forgot. We don't remember these things.
Yeah. Actually,
I feel like the mind is limited to not remembering everything perfectly. And,
sure.
Yeah. So I think whenever we bring things back, people enjoy it. Like it's just like a reminiscence of the past. So we'll have that, and I think it'll always influence the future because it'll keep us updated. It'll keep like ideas fresh, like ideas that we've done before.
Like I'm worried that it'll stagnate new ideas. It'll keep those ideas constantly fresh, but it's like I want room for like maybe not a new idea, but a new way of an idea.
I think we will build on the past. Like it'll spawn newer ideas. Someone will see something, they'll be like, "Oh, I love that," and they'll make it a different thing. And, it'll just grow it'll branch out and be like, "This is what this idea started as," and now we're like, it's this one up. It's its own. It's completely.
I hope so. That'd be cool.
Different from what the original was. But then it'll also spawn like newer ideas. Be like, oh, like, someone does something with like a platform type game, and he's like, I want to do that, but with this type of, and it'll spawn its own thing too. I think it'll always help it shut itself out.
I think it's all down to money. Like, the studios just want to churn money. So
yeah.
Like when Game of Thrones is ending, people were already talking about rebooting it. It's like, dude, calm down. Like, the show hasn't ended yet. And like, well, mainly because it wasn't done yet.
I would say though, like, on a re-release of a game, like not a what do they call Final Fantasy VII? Like a whole new, like not a remake, right?
A remaster. Remasters are different.
Oh, I guess a re-release. Like a re-release.
It's not a re-release.
Yeah, a re-release I think is like a money pop out. Like that's using nostalgia to re-release something because it doesn't cost much probably to get it on like a newer platform or whatever. But a remaster, like especially what they're doing with Final Fantasy VII, that for sure is not a cheap pop out. Like they're getting insane work.
Oh yeah. I'm not discrediting it.
That's for sure. They know they're going to make money, even if the game is bad.
But they talked about always being like they didn't want to do this.
Really?
Yeah, they were always against it because they were for the longest time they were saying like I remember there was like a quote and I could be misremembering, but there was like one of the guys that was working on all the Final Fantasy games was saying like no, like we want to make new storyline content.
Well,
we don't want to.
Maybe the head Final Fantasy guy because he left after 10.
Oh, then maybe that's why they worked out with him. But yeah, one of them was like, he was just like, I don't want to work on Final Fantasy VII. Like, I don't want to do something that's been done before. I want newer games. But
what's crazy, 7 is the only one that has had multiple sequels. It had Crisis Core, and it had also Vincent Valentine's.
It also had Advent Children and like a bunch of.
It's the only. It was the first time, and then 10 had it too. 10 too.
Yeah, but I think. It's just hard to tell. Like you can never really tell.
Yeah, there's speculation and conversation. Where I can see where you're saying.
But you know what? Like just to look in the bright side, there will always be those handful of creators that will bring fresh ideas.
Yeah.
It's just it sucks. I think it's gonna be smaller and smaller. That's the thing. But there will always be those filmmakers that just bring out the freshness. Game makers.
But what if it spawns new people with new concepts? Like. What if a kid's playing all these nostalgia games and he's like, you know what, dude? I'm tired of these people remaking games that have been made in the past.
Well, my worry is like studios like Disney just owning everything, that they just like control the theater market. So like visibility is purely in their hands of like, do we even want, like if they get to the point where they just control when and how you get a screen and what's on it, then it's like a linchpin. And I'm worried of that of like, I totally like if it was as long as the locations where movies can be seen, like as long as there's an indie theater, as long as there's the mainstream theaters, but I'm worried of that spread. Yeah. And like even those places won't have them.
This is a little off topic, but it's about the Disney specific streaming, and I thought it was an interesting fact. So when like Disney or movie theater, when movie companies were making movies, they couldn't own the distributing place as well. So it had to be separate, so there couldn't be no like monopoly.
Foul play.
Exactly. But now with streaming services, that is completely, and no one's questioning it. But I think it's because we've forgotten about this thing. But yeah, like Disney owning all of their content on their own streaming service, like, you know, this is something that like.
And what is Disney content even? It's like ESPN,
Yeah.
Fox, all these things.
So like you're especially specifically with Disney, like, you know, with Netflix it was like its own thing and it created into this big market now. But like Disney is a bigger beast at this point doing that streaming service. It's like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I feel like things.
And I just saw like NBC or CBS, the one with Office, the Peacock thing.
I don't know, NBC.
They were like, we're considering, like, we have high hopes for a Office reboot, and then another studio was talking about a Princess Bride reboot. And I'm just like,
And people are going crazy.
Yeah, the Princess Bride.
And there was-
like,
Go back
I'm
to
like-
our episode. You don't mess with classics.
I was thinking
don't
of Back
mess
to the
with
Future,
classics.
but I'm like, there's people that are like, there's money in this.
Yeah.
They see dollar bills, and I'm like, man.
it's crazy. I'm still on the concept like, you know, like let them do it, and whether you like it or not, don't watch it or watch it or something like that. I don't know.
You don't
Just
touch the
gotta teabag it.
classics.
Just gotta teabag it.
You don't touch perfection.
That's what was it, Carol? The guy that plays Princess Bride?
Oh yeah.
He says like, there's only a few movies that have perfection. Don't ruin one of them. He's trying to like humble himself. Like, yeah, I was just curious. I think it was interesting conversation.
Alright, so for mine is. Hold on. I gotta go to the website.
Don't change.
Let's
101.
So mine was just like, how good are you at adulting? I can't even.
Have you ever?
And it's just a few questions,
Sure.
and I just want to know, like, let's just discuss. So
Have
one
you
of
done
them-
it already?
I haven't. I skimmed through it, but I haven't looked
Okay,
and didn't answer myself. So one of them is, do you make your bed every
Morning?
morning?
No,
Every
I
morning.
don't.
Me neither. So already off the bat, we're not gonna adulting.
But I will
So-
comment. When I get home from work, I like change and everything to
Yeah.
like out of work clothes, and that's when I clean up the bed.
Gotcha. So I'm looking at I'm getting these the list off of a BuzzFeed article, and you can answer the questions on here. So 66% of the people that answered this survey said that they do not make their bed in the morning. So already off to best start on all of us. Do you guys know how to change a tire?
Yes.
Yes.
I've done it. Yes.
I remember this was one of the things we talked about, like 3 essential things every
Man.
person needs to do for
Oh, yeah.
adulting.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
the topic. That's why it sounded familiar, but I'm like, I'm curious what
Yeah,
what
I
this site
remember,
thinks
yeah.
of us.
So this one has can you parallel park?
Yes.
I feel like there's quite a few people that don't,
There's a lot that don't.
and I feel
Not
like they'll
just a
say
few.
that they can. And I can say I can
In a
parallel park.
they should add in a timely manner.
I can say I can parallel park even better now because of my backup camera. Because before I couldn't gauge the distance. So like if
I
it
was
was
a
a
little bit
tight
more-
spot, I'd be like tick, 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 like 6 times just to get.
I was
squeezed
more
in.
reserved and conservative about like my turning in.
But now
I'm just like,
Yeah, exactly. You
So
get
good,
really
Jeff?
close in there. Do you guys know how to write check?
yes.
So I think this is something like the newer.
Millennials
Millennials
don't know how to do it.
Fucking Gen.
Yeah, I think this is something for the newer generation because we're going away from that. Like even
I
now.
bet you part of it is because they don't know how to write.
I bet you they don't even know how to send
Well,
an
you don't even
envelope,
have to write
like the
it.
addresses.
That's a huge one too. Yeah. But I think with the check though is like it's going away. Like even when we were working at
It
Fry's,
tells
we
you
were,
though where.
we were so mad at people using checks. We're like, why, dude? Why you
Yeah.
gotta be so old, man?
Right.
You know, like. But it's also because
Do
we
you
have a
still
TDS
write
system.
checks?
I
I
still
read a
receive them.
rent check.
I've
They're
written
only
checks.
checks.
I've written checks.
When Katie and I split some bills, sometimes she'll be like, "Oh, I'll go write you a check." I'm like, "Please God, hey, can you just like
Venmo.
owe me?" She's like, she doesn't have Venmo.
I have a
No.
coworker who moved to San Diego, like I think at this point, like a year or 2 years ago. She pays her landlord with Venmo.
Nice.
Like that's it. Like I'm like, dude, that's so chill, dude. Like you don't have
What,
to do
the
anything.
subscription eggplant.
Okay, so next one is, do you guys know how to sew on a button?
No.
I do. When in high school, I loved economics or home economics essentially, and they had like you did a little of everything. So I learned how to cook. I
Take
like.
care of an egg.
Wait, say what? Take care.
That
No.
was a thing I did in high school where it's like you and yourself partner up with someone.
Oh
and
no.
You have to take care of an egg.
We had actual like robotic babies as a
Damn, wow.
Yeah.
This is Oklahoma
My
for me.
tech, dude.
But
They fucking went to the shopping aisle.
but for some reason I
cart
excelled,
bags.
I excelled very well at sewing. So like they had like all these projects for us to do, and I finished them all, and she's like, okay, you can do whatever you want. I'm like, okay, cool. Found a pattern for jeans, dude. Sewed jeans. It's fucking high school. So
What percentage of people?
let me see if we were false. 73% of people say they do know how.
Wow, we're in a minority.
I feel like they're shit, you know, but
They're probably just tying a rope around.
I know, right? I'm not having my shoes. Yeah, I noticed. So
so this one's a little weirder. Do you own a set of pots and do you know exactly what they're used for?
I don't own because I rent.
What they're used for? I mean, I know what I use them for. I don't know what they're generally used
Yeah,
for.
I feel like, cause like I'll usually like I've got like 3 pots.
I'm not putting spaghetti in a pan.
I've got 3 pots, and I use the smallest one. I usually use to boil water. I don't really have like a kettle or anything like that. But I also like I sometimes I've bought like instant mashed potato stuff, and I make it in that pot as well. Like I don't want to make a large serving just to do 1 serving. So I think that one's a little weird, but we'll say true. And 72% of people own pots and know what they use for. Do you guys know the difference between an HMO and a PPO? Now this is in reference to insurance.
I don't know the difference. I know what they mean.
What do they mean? Calling you out on this right now.
Damn. HMO.
I don't know what they mean, but I know that HMO is, I believe, a set of doctors, or like there's.
I know what it
it's
is.
specific
'Cause
things that you can do, and PPO is usually like an open thing. You can go to anyone you want within this.
Because I have the option to do.
I do not know. I know what I have. I don't know what they mean.
So we'll go false.
I have a
81%
PPO.
of people don't know.
I have a PPO.
I have PPO as well. Yeah. Knowing how to write a cover letter.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't. So I'll
It's
say false.
fucking annoying, dude.
Dude.
When you apply, because it has to be specialized for each fucking.
Yeah,
But
that's
I've
fine.
seen cover letters that are like 2 pages.
My name
or like,
is.
or like 4 or 5 paragraphs. I'm like, what the?
Boy, I'm Timmy.
So I think like I feel like a lot of people don't know how to do proper cover letter, but they're saying they know because they know exactly what it's supposed to be. 73% of people know how to do a cover letter.
It's supposed to be short. It's supposed to sell you.
Do you know how to make an appointment to the doctor?
Yes.
That's easy.
I had one today.
80%
I wish it
of
was easier though. I gotta be honest. Fucking half the time I have to go through calling services, and like they'll be like, we're open from 8 to 5 weekdays, and I'm calling it like 3 on a weekday,
But we have a 3-hour lunch.
and then like they're not answering. It's like, sorry, we couldn't reach you, but we're open at these hours. And then I would just hit it again and be like,
Alright, so this is one apparently they asked. Do all your posters have nice frames?
yes.
I have 2.
I don't know why that means you're adulting.
Yeah.
None of my posters are posters.
Well, I guess it's because like when you think of like teenagers, like you just tape up every poster you possibly
Tape or
have.
tack.
Yeah, exactly. So I think when you're an adulting, you have frames for those. You know, same poster.
I mean, I like
you
frames,
just have
but
frames.
I don't think that.
I only have 2 things posted up, and they're both from I Am 8-Bit, or not I Am 8-Bit, Gallery 689. Yeah, Gallery 88. I bought it's a limited edition Ghostmobile, or what was the Ectoplasm
Ecto one.
And I wanted to get the original, like the color, so it's all red with like the white and. But they only had the other limited one, which is a green
They should
background.
say like, what's on your poster that determines if you're.
Do you guys know the difference between a 401k and an IRA?
Yes.
Yes.
So I don't know for sure, but I think 401k is through work. Like you're
Yeah,
gonna get it always through work, and
employer.
IRA.
There's two types of IRAs.
Roth
One's
and-
pre-tax and one's post-tax. Roth is
Yeah. There's the.
But those are like out of.
But
not
you can
with your
transfer a
employer.
401k to a higher pre-tax.
But you can't do it backwards.
You can't do the other way.
You
can't
can do it
IRA.
the other way, I think. I don't know, but
You're the accountant.
I'm not 100% sure.
Let me do this one.
What are the percentages on it?
We'll say true on this one. 69% of people don't know.
Next week.
They don't know. Do you know how to fold fitted sheets? I'm assuming these are the
Fold
these
sheets?
are
Is there
the-
one way?
No. Fitted sheets are the ones that like they curve around the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there,
Well, because it gets
Yeah.
awkward, so you kind of just bundle it in a circle in a ball, you know, like this.
I mean, there's a way to fold them? I don't know.
I just,
there is a
I
way
just
to
make
fold
a
them.
square. Like I just fold.
Right, but like the corners are never actual
I
corners
fold
because
them
they're
in,
folded.
and then I just treat it. I
so
make
we'll-
my own
So
corner.
we'll say that you know how to fold. I don't know because
I'll say no.
I'll just bundle them up in a ball.
I don't bundle up.
What percentage of people do?
Let's see here. So we'll say that we don't know. It's two of us don't. Whoops, I butchered. 61% of people know how to fold parachutes. Do you guys know how to wrap a present nicely?
No. Fuck no. I waste so much fucking wrapping
Wow,
paper.
dude.
I'm like quadruple, like extra long, and the box is like this, and it's like it goes up here. I'm like crumble it up, fold it. All right, it's good.
I would say I know. Like, I don't leave a lot of room, but at the end of it, like, once I'm, like, closing it up, I don't know how to do a nice, like, seal. So then I just kind of, like... Because, like, there are people that are folded, so it has, like, a nice,
Yeah.
close to it.
I've seen shit on
Yeah.
like, how do you guys do it?
I'm not pro, but I can say I can do one nice.
So what do people say?
Let's say we don't know.
Yeah.
87% of people say they do know.
80% of people are lying.
And that's 100,000 votes for that, and 15,000
That's
voted
because
for
those people are putting it in bags. Tricking the system.
Can you adults swallow pills easily?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
can
episode
you-
69.
So this is another. So this isn't a question on here, but can you swallow a pill without water?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can, I think.
I've done
I
it.
don't do it, but
I've done it. I've been like in my room and I'm like, I don't have water. I'm too lazy to go, and I'll be like, just build a little bit of saliva and be like, oh.
Get stuck.
My worst fear. But I don't have an issue with that. My sister, definitely afraid of it. Like definitely afraid of it. So we
I
have
mean,
to
the
get.
pills I'm having are tiny as fuck. They're
I
not
know,
like
I've done
they're not like cough drops.
There used to be like NyQuil ones where like they were fat, like
No, I wouldn't
pieces
do
of turd, dude. They were huge.
Shouldn't be eating dirt. How many people do?
I didn't check this. So we'll say that we can. 91% people say they have their own addiction. 91.
91% of people swallow.
Can you guys plunge a toilet?
Yes.
I don't think.
Plunge?
Yeah.
Just the fucking suction? Yeah. Fucking
But,
did it
like,
yesterday.
Have you done it successfully? You know?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, I've never called the plumber.
My
Hell
KD
no.
ratio?
Zero plumbers called.
I have a story at least with this one. There's a I had a coworker, okay? It doesn't work anymore. I don't know why. He would always take forever in the restroom. And one day I'm like, dude, what, is something always wrong, dude? And he's like, dude, I don't know, man. Someone always clogs the toilet. I've never had that issue. It's like at work.
Depends on the
specifically.
pressure.
That someone is him.
That's what I'm thinking. Like I've never had that issue. I'm like, I don't know how much fucking paper you're using, dude, but I've never had.
I mean, at work the pressure's great, so I just mountains of paper.
right.
But at
like,
home, I'm like, I gotta be careful.
right, but like,
This is some
One wipe. Okay,
ultra.
flush. 1 second.
that's how it is with work too. But
My
if
dad
he
used to
can
be-
do a mountain of paper and he still clogs it, how much paper is he fucking moving? You know.
But
like,
work paper is super thin. Paper
he's
matters.
He's still locked.
My dad would be like, don't even wait, just like as it's coming out, flush.
So 82% of people say they do know.
Pro tips.
Can you guys change your own oil if your light comes on?
Oh.
I don't have the tools.
Yeah, I know how to do
that's
it.
the
I used to
first
help my dad.
I know how to do it. The only problem is, you have to dispose of it properly. The
I
oil.
need to have the container underneath,
Yeah.
and I don't have the thing to pull off the oil.
I
but
used to do it.
I'm still not 100% sure, so I'm gonna say no.
I had a car, a Saab, and I was worried that like mechanics would rip me off because it is a car that no longer is being made, and I felt like they would think I'm some like stuck-up guy who's just gonna
So
be
it's
able to pay for
upcharging.
it. Exactly. So I always did it myself, and what I would do is I just paid to dispose of it to them,
Okay.
because the leftover oil or whatever that you drain
Yeah,
out.
tell us what other people do.
Let me see. So we'll say that we don't. 59% of people say they do know how to change oil. Do you go to the dentist yearly?
I don't.
Yes.
No, definitely afraid.
Really?
Deathly afraid, dude.
Why? You don't like oral?
You should do it.
I should do.
I found that
You
like
need to
so
go.
right after like my parents stopped making my own appointments, I made my first appointment, went that one time, never made an appointment for another 6 years. Had one dangerous ass cavity, and I was just like, there's no reason not to do it yearly. Like I actually do it every 6 months.
I do 6 months.
I do 6 months cleaning,
Yeah.
and then I
clean.
do yearly checkup. And it's not an issue. Like
I just talk to them. It's like, what are you up to? And I'm like, Oh,
See, that's the thing though. I think the
podcast.
people that have bad experiences are ones that are never going like regularly.
Oh yeah,
And so every time they go, it's not a good experience.
I knew
because they're
a
doing
guy that
things,
waited as long as you did, and he had some bad
Yeah,
ones. And he's like getting hurt like a motherfucker.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to go
Like-
back, and so he waits another 6 years until all that builds up again, and he's. So I think that's usually what happens. But so we'll say that.
Can I ask a follow-up question? This is also to go with dentists. You guys floss?
I do.
Yes.
And it's thanks to I have like those. It's like plastic things that have the
Oh, just like disposable?
I can't, for the life of me, I can't fucking floss comfortably with just a string. Like I can't get the back of my teeth very well with that.
What you do is you put one hand like this, one hand like this.
You floss.
Ooh.
He's doing the corner floss, which doesn't even come from partner.
Or you get the celery.
This one, I feel like you have to, but do you pay your bills on time?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I've not. I
I for the most part auto pay whenever I can.
I don't.
Like when it's
almost
when,
fucked me over sometimes, but I don't.
when it's like basic, like when it's like rent or any of those other things, if they have a feature like that, and I know it's set, and it has to be set. I don't do like things that are like my card, my credit card. I don't know however much like that could vary. I don't auto pay those, but I think some other things I tried out just so it's like I don't want to.
Yeah.
What do people say?
Yeah,
tell us what
so
people
we'll say that we do. 81% of people say they do.
What about the one before?
The dentist one was 59% of people said they don't do regularly a yearly dentist visit. So this one is: do you guys separate colors in laundry?
No.
I don't.
Me neither. And it's screwed me over sometimes. Dude.
I don't often have a lot of white though.
So I only usually have like white undershirts, but one
Whitey
time,
Whitey
one time I
patties
had a
and-
white shirt, it turned pink. So that's good. I still
It
enjoy
makes
it.
sense.
I still enjoy it. So we'll say that we got one. That was pretty close. 57% people say they do. This one is: can you guys kill a spider without screaming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Killed too many.
Try to kill one in the podcast.
So I think
With a
There's-
sandal.
I think there's certain spiders that don't have an issue, but there's ones that you look at them and you're like, this is crazy. Like I've never seen this.
I
type
will
of spider.
chuck a shit.
Australia?
Yeah, exactly. You have an issue.
Australia?
You squirm a little bit. You know, like
Australia?
On the toilet, like
Oh.
paper. What do people say?
let me see. We'll say that we can get it without chewing. 59%. That's actually pretty low.
What if it's screaming
I'm
like a
more-
battle scream, like ah!
I won't
you're so
scream,
screwed.
but I'm more afraid to kill a cockroach. Because the way they like run to
They
you,
don't die,
they run to the shadow.
and like you fucking
We
murder
saw
it,
him
and it's
try
just
to
like,
kill it, you know?
like you
Dude,
motherfucker.
he stepped on it twice and it was still running out.
Every time I do with the spider, if it's at the home, I kill it, wrap it in the shit, throw it in the toilet, flush the toilet.
Wrap
I'm
it
like,
again in another
I'm
shit.
like kill,
Comes back up.
kill confirmed. I have to. I do a second
you
flush.
pick up the kill tag. You know? That's funny. Do you guys put away your laundry after you drive it right away? No, you don't, huh?
I use the laundry as another like cabinet.
It's fine.
But a lot of times that's stuff I don't care about. Like when it's stuff I need to hang,
Yeah.
those go immediately in
I
the.
put it away, I don't fold it.
So I don't
I don't
generally iron. Because,
You can hang though.
Yeah, that's what I do. So usually right after drying, while it's still warm, I will hang them immediately, and it kind of doesn't wrinkle up. So that's usually why I don't. And that's actually all I had. And
Well,
let's do that last one. We do. 61% of people will say they don't put it away after drying. But do you have like in home?
Yeah, it's a
dryer?
washer dryer in the apartment.
I need to find.
And I literally like the dryers up here. If it's just like boxers and like home shirts and
Yeah.
pajamas, I just leave it in there. I'm like, what do I need today?
I feel that if I ever have my own place, like apartment wise, I need to find a place that offers in house. Because I
It's
ain't
a big
gonna be
difference
going-
maker.
Yeah, dude. You can do whatever you want. I don't want to be going
Yeah.
and waiting for people to finish
Take
this
your
shit.
Or your switch light.
Take out their wet clothes and put it on top.
What are you doing?
Throw in a piece of red in there.
Just hide it, you know, like. No,
So,
I
how do you think we did overall?
I think we did good. A lot of
We're
them we
adults?
did.
Do you have your own podcast, you're an adult.
You're an adult. I feel like a lot of these are just generalized questions, and like, even if 99% of this you don't answer as true, or that you have, like, you're still, it doesn't mean that you're not an adult. You know? Don't hold yourself to these standards.
I think people, there's certain things, like,
Changing
how do you put a toilet paper roll in?
Oh my god.
Under.
You know what? That's a debate, and there's people that will say
There's no debate.
under is the
How
way
do
to
you
go.
like this or like that?
So there's people at my work, I don't understand this. Apparently my coworker said it's a cultural thing, and I'm like, I've never heard that, but I will, whatever.
Water only.
So I can hear the way people wipe in the bathroom. You hear like,
Daredevil?
no, you just, when it's quiet,
Like,
He sees like through the wall.
he
the
ate celery. He ate celery, but
it's like U571 splashes. No,
Ooh, wet.
so like, you could hear when it's like a, like,
Okay.
I don't know. But when I hear these people, it's literally like,
rubbing.
wow.
for like, there's short periods of time where it's like a back and forth, like a,
Damn, your
But-
vacuum is too sensitive because you could be farting like, you're like, whoa.
no, yeah, you can hear it a lot of the time. But I hear people doing that for very long periods of time, and I'm like, I think they're jerking off.
Oh.
And my head goes there. I'm like, there's no way you're rubbing this shit into you. I don't understand. I don't know. But I have my technique. It's not that. But I put it over. It's the right way.
So personally, I like it over, but I understand if you have pets, specifically a cat.
That's the only time I'll give it
Under.
accept.
Oh.
That's
Under.
the only time I give it accept.
Under. But also, like, usually it's only indoor cats that'll fuck with the toilet. But it, like, my cat has never even decided to go in the restroom, so I don't have an issue with it. So I have it over. But there's people that say under is the right way.
It's wrong.
That's wrong.
But does it mean that they're less than an adult?
Yes.
They're less of a person.
They're not even human.
No.
I think there are things that you have to at least try to learn.
How to use blinkers.
There-
There's a lot. I mean, that a lot of
Oh,
people don't know how to fucking do
LA
it.
then. Shit. Fuck.
You need to know that to change out your blinker fluid for sure.
Your blinker fluid?
Yeah.
No, it's a prank. People will ask, hey, can you get blinker fluid?
Usually,
Go inside the
most of the
store.
videos, there's videos of like dads
Like,
taking their
fuck you,
sons.
man.
There's videos of dads taking their sons to like an auto parts store, and they'll be like, ask for the blinker fluid. He's alright. He walks in, he's like, Dad, you told me it doesn't exist.
That's so good.
Millennials, dude.
Dude, there's videos online of trolls that are like they do step by step how to refill your blinker fluid, and they literally just fill
Oh
the
my
whole thing with
God.
like a viscous fluid. I don't know what the fuck it is.
I like the one with the guy and his girlfriend. She's not that smart. And he's like, if I cut a pizza into 4 slices, but I also have the same pizza cut into 8 slices, which one should I get? The 8 slices. It's bigger. But just like.
Is it that one, or because there's another one where he's asking like if I'm moving
Yeah, yeah.
like
it's the
10
same
miles
girl.
an hour,
Yeah, yeah.
how long
miles
would it
per
take
hour.
me to get 10 miles?
If I drive
She's
an
like,
hour, how many miles have we driven?
She's like 24. What? What do you mean?
It reminds me of those like talk shows where they're like going up to random people on the street, like,
Oh yeah.
what state do we live in? Like, I don't know. Like, they ask those questions.
Yeah.
Anyway, good
So-
topic. I feel confident in myself. What'd you guys do this week?
Change my hair and my tires.
Oh,
Like,
it's like
completely
what?
drained them out and
NO2? Nitrous or nitrogen?
No, I think my back right tire has a hole because this is like the second time I've had to change it out in like a month. So I need to keep an eye on it just to see if it was a fluke, but I might have to get it patched. We'll see.
Why don't you could get a check for free, and then
Or I
they'll
could
tell
just
you.
wait.
No, I would have a professional check it for free.
Yeah,
It's only $20 a pack.
but it's free though.
Adulting. You're gonna do yourself.
So besides that,
Put gas in my car. I played Borderlands and World of Warcraft. That's all I did. That's
hey,
it.
talk about it. Like,
That's it.
did you have fun? Was it good? We didn't play Borderlands before the last podcast.
No.
It was coming out that night.
It feels exactly like any other Borderlands, dude. Obviously, the story's different. Like, you're continuing the story. But, like, gameplay-wise, like, the way the gun and everything works, like, feels exactly like...
I don't know. I like how... I forgot how good the guns felt. I always only think of Destiny and, like, when guns feel good.
Yeah.
But, like, when I'm loading, like, one of my shotguns, I'm like, dude, that sounds just like... Boop, boop. Like, it's just, like... It makes me think of, like, the first game where I thought sound of weapons was so satisfying was Half-Life 2. Just switching between weapons, like Counter-Strike. I always was like, why do players keep switching to their knife and their... Like, because it just sounds good.
I think you also move a little bit faster with a knife out.
Maybe. It just sounded good. That was the part of it.
I've fallen in love with two types of guns. Handguns and shotguns. Shotguns that have 34 times 10 damage. Like, those things are amazing, dude.
Well, how many rounds do they have?
No. So it does double shot right away, like quickly, and then it doesn't reload. It has like it holds like 6 shots, but it goes. Like if I'm fast, right, I can just like time it. I usually time it because the double one, like that recoil messes me up, and that second shot will never hit right.
Okay.
But it also I found one that had great accuracy, so I just dude, if I aim it towards her head, it'll always be a crit, and every single shot connects. I like.
Have you beat the story yet?
No, not even. I don't even know if I'm how close I am to that. Yeah.
I mean, what level are you?
For 38.
I think you're close to the
28. No, I'm 28. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I've heard people were in the 30 levels.
Yeah, I don't know. So I am in the area where like the Jacobs, the gun owner, the Jacobs gun owner, or the guy who makes the Jacobs weapons. That's his area. It's like a foresty swampland area.
You're way ahead of me.
I'm trying to think of like
Trying to destroy a giant ball. A robotic ball.
Oh.
He owns this asteroid where that blows up shit. Star Wars style.
Oh yeah. Wow.
That's a while.
That's like in the beginning. I've done every side quest possible in every section. So obviously, like more open up in the previous sections while you're playing. Done those two. So I'm just like keeping up. So maybe that's why I feel like I might be higher than normal.
Okay.
But because I know at least a lot of streamers they sped through that.
Streamlined it.
Skip all of the
Really?
side quests. Yeah. They were just looking to level as fast as possible, but I'm slowly playing it.
No.
Same thing with World of Warcraft. I'm slowly playing it because if I rush in, like if I just play as much as I can, I get burnt out. Like it's such a slow paced game. Compared, like if you compare it to retail, like you can get level 20 in like an hour. Here you can get level 7 in an hour. You know,
What's the requirement for mount?
for a mount, level
Flying
40. No, in classic there is no flying whatsoever.
Are you sure?
In classic there is never flying.
CD in the third. I saw a clip.
No, he might have been playing retail.
Couldn't you take him like a flight?
Oh yeah, there's flight packs.
But you
So
don't
there's
have your
like-
own mount.
But you have to go to that specific. There's like a guy who owns like these flight creatures. Usually it's like bats or griffins. And so when you talk to them, it opens up a page, and you can click on any other of those flight masters, and it'll fly from one person to another person. But you can't get off in between those things. So there's no those you can use right off the bat. As long as you know 2 flight points that connect, you can fly to one another. To do a regular ground mount is level 40. It's roughly, I think it's like roughly 100 gold, which gold is insanely hard to come by if you're not working the market, if you're not collecting materials to get things. And then if you have no reputation whatsoever, which you will by the time you hit level 60, but if you don't, a mount costs 1,000 gold, or the best version of a mount, which is called like an epic mount, and it runs faster than a standard mount. Is 1,000. That's insane. Like there's one streamer, Soda Poppin'. There's people handing him fucking gold. He still didn't have enough by the time he was finished. He was still collecting. He was like they were doing things where people were like, here's this item, sell it, give me 60% of the profits, you keep 40%. Just because he's a huge streamer, so people are willing to buy like for more than average because they just want to be seen on stream or whatever. And he's like, hell yeah, and he's just been doing that. He's been like, and he still hadn't built enough. He was doing all these other things to get gold. He finally like got enough gold, but he was like, you know what? I don't want to be completely full when I buy it. So he like waited a little bit longer, but I saw him buy on stream. And it was 990 gold, I think, with the reputation discount. Like when you're better reputed with, or have better reputation with someone, it goes lower in price. And there's a max reputation, but nobody's really hit that because it's a lot of a grind to get like a better reputation with someone. So yeah, like I'm just playing. So I'm level 30, and max is level 60. The friends that like I'm playing with, 2 of them have level 40 plus guys, which I think if I were playing a little bit more, I would have gotten that. But again, if I do play that much, I'm probably gonna burn myself out right away. And same thing with Borderlands. Like I didn't touch it in like 2 days, so I was just like, I don't want to. But I started watching streamers and I'm like, you know what? I kind of miss it, and went back to play it a little bit. And I was enjoying it rather than just forcing myself to play too much of it. And then Zelda's gonna come out.
You'll play it?
Tomorrow. I'll play the shit out of
Tonight?
it. I'll probably beat it before we do the next.
It's already out right now.
Yeah, it's out right now.
It's just out now.
No,
No,
like
9 o'clock.
games, like if you get them digitally, you can start playing like at 9 and stuff.
So it comes out Friday.
Yes, the night
East
before it'll do like.
East Coast. No,
You're
well,
telling me that right now.
it's out right now because
You're telling me
a
that
streamer just announced he's
You're
streaming.
telling me that if I brought my thing, I could play right now. Why didn't bring it?
We have to connect to the internet because we have to verify.
Easy, dude. We got hotspots, dude.
Hotspot.
Hotspots.
69.
What do you have to drink?
A little bit of Alien.
Oh, the game?
Yeah, Isolation. But then Sunday was the 4th anniversary for Undertale. So we finally jumped into Undertale and not disappointed. That's the ska song. That's dude. The music is Toby Fox is a genius. Yeah, I had to respect him because like he put Final Fantasy 6 scene in there. So usually I tell people to play Final Fantasy 6. People usually don't play, or people won't usually play Final Fantasy 6 ever. 7 is like the one they'll go back to. He was 3 years old when Final Fantasy 6 came out. So this guy actually went back, played 6,
And was like,
loved it, put it in the game, and dude, I can't even imagine like there's a website called Destructoid and they have this segment called Memory Card, and this guy writes it and he talks about the greatest moments in game history. That game Undertale has so many fucking good moments, like I can't even count it. They're like, well, there's like 5 really good moments, and like every single one of those 5 moments could be in his memory card. And it's just like crazy shit, like you don't have to kill them. I mean, that's been done in Fallout. You can charm your way. You don't have to kill enemies. But going on a date with a skeleton, I was just like, what the? I was just taken aback. I was like, what? This is weird. It's just, I don't know. The game has a lot of charm, a lot of heart. I'm doing the second playthrough. We got one more playthrough to do.
Oh, so you beat it.
I already beat it. But I guess that's not the true ending. The true ending is this playthrough, and I heard it has made many people cry. Dude, I don't remember a game where I felt so guilty. I killed a character, and I was just so, like, it affected my gameplay. I didn't want to kill, I mean, I still killed enemies, but there are certain enemies I didn't want, like dogs. I didn't want to kill the dogs. I was like, I'm not kidding, but you pet a dog and then its neck grows. You pet it, its neck grows, and you just pet it and it reaches the ceiling and you keep on petting it, it grows inverted, upside down. I'm like, this fucking game is so weird.
Wait, can you kill it that way by petting it?
Well,
I thought you were
you don't kill it.
I
You don't kill it. I mean, there's a limit.
But what if there's a point where the dog's just like, kill me? Because, you know, it's like so contorted.
But it reminds me of, it's like one of those games like Nier Automata, where like, so, this isn't the first game that did this. I think Eternal Sanity's Requiem did it first, but I'm playing the game and it says file save corrupted. So what the fuck? I was like, what happened? I was like, no, please. And then like this weird shit happened. It glitches. It's like, if you lose this boss battle, you're gonna lose your file save. I'm like, no. And I'm playing my hardest. And I died. It doesn't delete your save, but
it's giving you like this like fear, yeah.
But
And that's the whole point of the game, I'm assuming, or like the point of that motive.
so I played. So one of my viewers was watching me. He's like, dude, I respect the way you're playing it because most people were asking for hints and like, oh, how should I do this ending? How should I do that? And I just wanted to play first playthrough. I just want to play blind. I'll do it how I'll play it. And then second and third, I'm gonna have to look at a guide because you have to beat the game without killing anyone, which is the true ending. After that, you got to do genocide. You got to kill everyone. You got to kill everyone.
That's when he's gonna be at his darkest.
And
I'm sure
I mean, I know it's spoiler, so it does a near automata thing where when you kill everyone, it deletes your save. So you do lose it. But you don't have a choice. When you kill everyone.
Well, because you killed everyone.
Yeah, you kill.
So
you
it's
kill
like you have no. Like I'm assuming it's like the game's way of killing you, like for being so evil.
So have you heard, or are you gonna play Delta Room?
I'm gonna wait till more. The
over?
game's finished. They only released one chapter, and I heard it's in that world.
This one that you're playing right now, the copy of Undertale, it's on Switch. I don't know if I own a copy of it.
It's good, man.
Dude, it's on Smash.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
That's pretty much it. Undertale, stream.
And Tetris?
Like it's another horror game?
I want to. It's hard, dude. Like, October's coming, and I bought Silent Hill HD Collection. That thing was hard to find a long time ago. It's easy now, but that used to be like a $60 game. But I plan on doing Silent Hill unless Visage comes out, which I think it is coming out in Halloween.
Like an update of it?
Yeah, the final version I think is coming out in Halloween. Yeah, I'm just playing Undertale, and the viewage is good, and Tetris is Invictus is tough. But
Was that you and Invictus who did that video?
oh no, that's normal. But I posted a screenshot of Invictus got second place.
I tried Invictus. The best I could do is 29.
It's hard. Invictus is killers, dude.
So the game just goes faster.
My friend told me, like, have you noticed when you play Invictus, it'll like go like 60, 69, and then all of a sudden 100. It fills it up with bots.
I thought so.
Yeah. So.
At first, I thought that was my internet connection, and I was like, I think it's bots.
So you're not playing like less and less people. You're always playing more people.
You're always playing 99 people, but when it can't find people, it just fills it with bots.
I keep on forgetting to do the dailies, but it kind of sucks because the dailies are always T-spins and Tetris.
I never do the no. Well, okay. There's always a CPU one, and I just insta-kill myself. It's like, do one playthrough of a CPU game, like, kill. Game over, you did it.
You just drop the street.
And then usually one or two of them are just like, do things in the Tetris 99 online game, and usually they're either KOs or Tetrises. And I always tend to get 2 to 3 of these tickets. I never have like I tried once to do the T-spin. It took way too much time, and I just want to like do enough to like get my tickets for the day. So far, I have the Mario theme. I have the Zelda theme. The Zelda one's real good. The music. Zelda one's good. I'm like 3 or 4 tickets in for today, so for the next one.
The game you saw me play.
That was fucking. I thought you had it.
I know.
That one piece.
When I look back at it, I fucked up the way I drop things, but when it's going so fast,
I know you're in the
just
moment.
like shit. I was like calm. I was like, alright, we're calm, we're cool.
When you let your guard down, that's when and then it's.
Yeah, I know. You should always be attacking, and I kind of chilled, and I think that killed me. That's part of the reason I died. Because I knew the guy was good. But.
This weekend is Kirby theme.
Wait, do you get to keep it if you win?
If you do 100 points worth, it's a Kirby thing.
I still haven't done it again.
Don't worry about it. For me, I've been watching Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, you? you're supposed to know.
The extended editions. Katie's been into it. Last year I watched it and she kind of just passively watched it, just was doing her own thing. This year she's like, wait, why is that character? And she's like, I've never seen these scenes. I'm like, this is the extended edition. She grew up watching just the movie, the ones in the theater. And she's like, wait, what? Why is this guy like this? And I'm like, oh, because there's a story that like that wasn't even showcased, so these side stories and stuff. And it's become a thing for me where I like to revisit it every year. Like Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. Every year I go back to the movies.
Still haven't finished Harry Potter.
I got them for you. But man, there's something about, like, I think I grew up with Star Wars, but Lord of the Rings is the franchise I've watched the most. We used to own only like 3 DVDs.
Yeah.
And it was Episode 1, The Matrix, Terminator 2, and The Fellowship of the Ring. And eventually we got Pirates of the Caribbean 1 and Lord of the Rings 2. And every time we'd go on a drive out of the city in Oklahoma, there was nothing in between cities. So it was like 2.5 hour drive. We'd always just bring Lord of the Rings with us and just watch it again and again. And I was like, I probably watched those movies so many. Like, there were scenes that I was like,
You should have acted out.
and I would just say the line, and just like out of reflex, I would just say this line. And all of a sudden, he was like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going
Surround
on?"
sound?
I'm being possessed, Katie.
Yeah, those stories are so good, and it just makes me appreciate what we have now with TV and cinema. Because like the stories were old, like many other book adaptations, but like the way they filmed that large of an epic story. I mean, Game of Thrones has done it on a TV level, and it's for so many more years. But like, I think that laid the foundation for those sorts of shows to even be desired or possible. So now we're on the third one, where we have like we've watched 2 hours of the third one, so we're halfway. There's two more.
Extended to 4 hours?
Yeah. It's like insert disc 2. And last year what I did was I watched them all, and then I had all these extra discs, and they were behind the scenes, interviews. I watched all of those. This year I'm just going to watch them, and then I bought a physical copy of the book. I haven't read the books since I was in like 6th grade.
Yeah.
So I want to reread them, and I want to reread, I've never read the Silmarillion, which is like the lore of the fucking Middle-earth world. Like, where did wizards come from? Where did Sauron come from? He's like a pawn of a greater evil, and all this other shit. I'm like, I want to know that stuff. So I've been doing that. Played a little bit more Astral Chain. It's fun, but it's like Octopath for me, where I'm like, I just play it because it feels good, but like I'm not invested in the story anymore. Borderlands, I'm like I was stuck at level 17. I tried to take on that the robot. It's like 2 contractors. One of them you're sided with a mustache.
Oh, that's right.
And then the dick bag.
Yeah.
And then he turns into this giant robot or eye thing. And I couldn't beat him. I'm like, I can't do enough damage. And he kills me soon. So I'm like, 8 side quests I never did. I'm like, I'm just gonna do these side quests and see if I can get another level on.
Did you beat him with the other level?
I haven't gone back through yet. I've just been doing all these side quests.
Just so with me, all I did was switch guns. A shotgun that like bazookas like electrical shots, so it kills his shield right away. But that doesn't do anything. He's got like different phases. So when you get his health turned down, he does other moves and stuff.
So I've been chipping away at that.
I was wrong. 77. You got an 84.
I saw that. I was like, I did try today. I know last week, episode 136, we were talking about mobile games.
Yeah.
And then I fucking like halfway through the week, Apple Arcade came out. I was like, I didn't even think of that. I totally forgot that was a thing. And so I looked at the list. I'm like, it may not be exactly what I was looking for, but it is more of what I was thinking of. Like, it's a curated list of specific games that they push out and they like promote.
Yeah.
And like these developers, while they're games on other platforms like the Sayonara one, they work well on mobile. And there's this other game that like I'm probably gonna get on Switch because I like tactical RPGs, but it's like sort of like a Walking Dead. You're surviving through post-apocalypse, but it's a tactical RPG, and it's like
outward.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but it's essentially telling you like you're not going to be able to save everything. So it's like you're at a point you have to either save your dog or your best friend on this drive through the post-apocalypse. You got to pick one, and it's like that.
So it's like that mech game.
Sort of.
Or you
The
can't
grid
save
is the
everyone.
grid is like that.
Yeah.
It's the same style and everything, but and really that's on the Apple Arcade. Sayonara game. It's like a music temple run style thing.
That I suck at.
Yeah, you get better. There's a few other games I'm like, these are really cool, and I have an old iPhone. I was just kind of like on Wi-Fi. I'll load it up, and yeah, I was really impressed by what they have to offer. I'm curious. I'll probably talk about it more next week, but that's about it. Some D&D. My bard, our fucking group, everyone's died except for me and someone else, and the other person was one of the people that killed one of our teammates. They got bitten by a fucking like murderous berserk thing. It made them like lose sight of like who's friend or foe, and like the DM was like, roll for damage, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he numbered us. We were all around him, and he rolls, and he's like, this guy's dead, and my friend's like, that's me. He's like, cleaves straight through you. It's like, fuck. And so he's made a new character, and he came back, and he's like, I'm playing the brother of that character. And he's like nearly killed himself twice now. And one of the times it wasn't even anything serious. He was like, oh, while we're in town, I'm gonna make some spells, and he rolled a 1. He's like, the spell blew up in your face. It dealt 2d6 dices.
So he has to roll 2d6
of damage. He has 11 health. So if they both rolled 6, he would have been dead.
Or a 6 and a 5.
Yeah, or that. Yeah. They rolled a 9, so he was barely alive.
And then
I was like, what the fuck? And then we go to this cave, and it's like electric. Like, imagine Cerebro, the room, metal and shit. He's like, oh, I'm gonna stab the metal that's electrocuting to break off a piece of it to keep. And the guy's like, you sure you want to do that? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. He's like, rolls for damage. You're at -5. And when you're in negative, you have to do a roll to see if you stabilize. And if you stabilize, then someone has to come and heal you because you're unconscious.
Or he just like fucking gets the bad.
If he didn't stabilize, yeah, he would have died. I'm like, you got a death wish? What is wrong with it? Like, and all these other characters.
Does his brother character hold a grudge against the guy that cleaved his brother in half?
No, I hold a grudge because I'm like, guys are, because the first brother was a dick to my character because he's like elvish and he's like they stick their nose up at humans.
Yeah.
And I'm on a human bard, so I'm just sitting there making dirty jokes. And I'm in the background kind of like screaming, and we keep going into this dungeon where everyone has died. I'm like in there for the 4th time. I'm like, I'm ready to run. Like, I don't care about you guys anymore.
You see like a little bunny? Let's go right now, guys.
Like, we entered the room, and apparently monsters had regenerated, and they were the berserk ones. I'm like, I know what they do. I'm gonna be at the back, and I'm gonna like peek around the corner, and if the slightest hint of like them turning someone, I'm running. I don't care about you. So we played a little bit more, so it's been fun. That's fun. So with that, where can people find you guys?
They can find me at the Hulu everywhere, but not really.
In Undertale, at the last bosses.
Find me at Future Prime in Middle Earth. You can find us all at the Weekly DLC. This is episode 137 of the Weekly DLC. Please enjoy and tune in for next week's episode 138, 69 Double Time.
No snitching.
69 Double Time.
No snitching.
It's been coming
We
for a long time.
No snitching.
Until next time, man.
DLC.
You made it.
Times 2.